Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. You know the drill by now.
You bet.
We're here to help you get smart
That's right.
quickly on things that matter.
Exactly.
And today we're zeroing in
Mm-hmm.
on a device that's got people talking.
Yep.
It's the Google Pixel 9a.
The 9A, yep.
So put down those endless spec sheets.
Please, yeah.
We did the digging for you.
Straight from the source.
Went right to Google themselves.
That's right.
Specs page, Google store listing.
Whole 9 yards.
We're talking like
Yeah.
the full picture.
Totally.
Not just those flashy
That's
headlines.
Nope.
Our mission today.
Lay it on us.
What is this phone all about?
Right.
Strengths.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a couple quirks, too,
Gotta keep it real.
especially since it's landing April 10th, 2025.
So soon, yeah.
So first impressions,
Mm-hmm.
holding this thing.
Yeah, the in-hand feel.
What's it like?
All right, so dimension-wise, we're looking at 154.7 millimeters tall,
Okay.
73.3 millimeters wide, 8.9 millimeters thin,
Not bad.
and it comes in at 186 grams.
So that sounds pretty
Yeah.
balanced, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Not crazy bulky.
No.
Not super flimsy light either.
Right, exactly. Strikes a nice middle ground there.
Now, how'd they put this thing together?
Materials, right?
Yeah, what are we working with?
Okay, so you've got Gorilla Glass up front.
Of course, for that.
Of course, for that.
Scratch resistance, we'll get into that a bit more later.
Okay.
The frame itself, that's aluminum.
Sturdy.
Strong, yep. And for the back, they went with plastic.
Plastic back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting choice.
It helps keep that weight down, probably.
Probably, yeah. So then, style-wise,
Yeah, the look.
what colors can you get this thing in?
All right, so they're offering 4 options.
Okay.
You've got your classic, like, obsidian, porcelain,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like, a bit more fun, iris and peony.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
whether you're like low-key
Yeah,
or want to make a statement,
Okay.
there's something there.
there you go.
All right, but let's be real. These phones, they're with us all the time.
Constant companions. And things happen.
Accidents, drops, yeah.
So durability-wise,
Uh-huh.
how tough is this 9A?
So it's got an IP68 rating.
Oh,
So dust and water resistant.
good.
Like up to 1.5 meters of water for 30 minutes.
That's solid.
And get this, the Google store even says, they've got enhanced drop protection.
Ooh, interesting.
They don't give specifics, but it sounds like...
Like, you really put some thought into it.
Right, making it a bit more, resilient.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, but let's move on to the part
Yeah.
we interact with the most.
The display, right?
The display, yeah.
Front and center.
Visually,
Yeah.
what's the experience like?
Okay, so it's a 6.3-inch POLED display,
Okay, decent size.
1080 by 2424 resolution. That works out to about 422 pixels per inch.
All right, so pretty.
Crisp, yeah. And it's in that 20.9 aspect ratio.
So you're saying the picture's going to be
Sharp, detailed, yeah.
sharp, detailed? Okay,
Hmm.
but sharpness is only part of it, right?
Right.
What about, like, vibrancy, colors, all that?
So it does support HDR content.
Oh, nice.
So wider range of colors, better contrast for those movies and shows.
Makes a big difference.
Huge, yeah. Plus they've got the 120 hertz refresh rate.
That's smooth.
Super smooth, scrolling, navigating, everything just feels really responsive.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, but speaking of responsiveness, how bright does this thing get?
Ah, yeah, outdoor visibility.
Yeah, will it hold up in sunlight?
Absolutely. So high brightness mode, you're looking at 1800 nits.
Not bad.
And it can even peak at 2700.
Wow, so no problem on a sunny day then.
Not at all.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier that Gorilla Glass.
Yeah.
What version are we talking here?
So it's Corning Gorilla Glass 3.
Okay, and what does that mean practically?
Good for resisting scratches from everyday stuff.
Right.
But I gotta say, some phones out there, they're using newer versions, like Gorilla Glass Victus, even Glass 5.
You've seen those.
And those, they do a much better job with drops, deep scratches.
So with this one, maybe a little extra caution.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Good to know.
One more thing on the display. It's got the always-on display.
Oh, handy.
Yeah, quick check notifications, the time without fully waking it up.
Saves battery.
Exactly.
Like, so the display's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But what's running the show here?
The brains of the operation.
Yeah, performance and all that.
Okay, so inside, you've got Google's Tensor G4 chipset.
Their own silicon.
Yep, built on a 4-nanometer process.
4 nanometer. That's
Tiny, yeah. So basically, think of it like this. The transistors on the chip, they're packed in super tight.
Okay.
More power, better efficiency in a smaller space.
I see. So that's how they get more
Yeah.
performance without
Exactly.
draining the battery.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Then for the CPU, it's an octa-core design.
8 cores.
Yeah, so you've got one high-performance core, the Cortex-X4, that's clocked at 3.1 gigahertz.
For those demanding tasks.
Exactly, heavy lifting. Then you've got 3 Cortex-A720 cores running at 2.6 gigahertz.
So those are for
More like everyday tasks. And then 4 power-efficient cores.
to keep things running smoothly.
Yeah, those are the Cortex-A520s at 1.9 gigahertz.
So it's really a setup that
Yeah.
balances power with efficiency.
Right on the money.
Okay, so that's the chip, but what about RAM and storage?
All right, so you've got 8 gigabytes of RAM in there.
8 gigabytes.
Plenty for most people. Yeah. Should handle multitasking without breaking a sweat.
And storage.
2 options there.
Okay.
128 gigabyte or 256 gigabyte.
All right, and that's internal, right?
Yep, internal storage. Uses the UFS 3.1 standard.
So that's fast.
Blazing fast.
App loading, file transfers, all that.
Super speedy.
But there's a catch, right?
Ah, you caught it.
No expandable storage.
Nope, no micro SD card slot, so you got to choose wisely up front.
Choose wisely, yeah. All right, so hardware's looking good,
Yeah.
but software,
Oh, the software, yeah.
that's a big part of the Pixel experience.
Huge. Yeah.
What are we running here?
All right, so it ships with Android 15,
The latest and greatest.
fresh out of the oven.
So all the new features,
Yep.
security updates,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Straight from Google.
But what's really impressive,
This is big.
they're promising up to 7 major Android upgrades.
7, that's a lot.
Unheard of almost.
So you're saying this phone is going to stay current for a while?
Years, yeah.
Security, features,
The whole package.
that's peace of mind right there.
Absolutely.
Now, we got to talk about the camera.
Oh, yeah. This is Pixel territory.
Pixel's known for their cameras.
For good reason.
What are we working with here?
Okay, so on the back, it's a dual camera system.
No camera, right?
Main camera, 48 megapixels.
Okay.
Wide lens, f1.7 aperture, 25 millimeter equivalent focal length, half-inch sensor, 0.8 micron pixel size.
Getting technical now.
A little bit, yeah, but basically.
Mm-hmm.
All that means, good image quality. It's also got dual pixel PDAF,
PDF.
phase detection autofocus, yeah.
Huh.
So focusing is fast and accurate,
Nice.
and optical image stabilization.
OIS, right?
Yep, helps with shaky hands, keeps things nice and steady. Good for videos.
Especially for videos.
All right, and the second lens,
So that's a 13 megapixel ultra wide.
ultra wide, so we can get
Those
those.
expansive shots, yeah.
Uh,
It's got an f2.2 aperture and a 120-degree field of view.
That's pretty wide.
It is, yeah. It's got a 1/3 inch sensor and 1.1.1 pixel size. Should perform well in a variety of situations.
It's a pretty versatile setup overall.
Definitely, you can capture a lot with this.
Now, besides the lenses themselves,
Yeah.
what other shooting modes and features do we have
Okay, so you've got a dual LED flash.
for low light situations?
Exactly. Pixel shift for extra detail.
Pixel shift, how does that work?
It takes multiple shots, slightly different each time, combines them for more detail.
Interesting.
You've got Ultra HDR for dynamic range.
So those bright and dark areas.
Yeah, handles them well. Panorama mode for wide shots.
Classic.
And then there's best take.
Best take. Now that sounds interesting.
So this uses AI, right,
Okay.
to analyze a bunch of similar shots.
Yeah.
And you can pick the best expression.
Oh, that's great for group photos.
Yeah, no more blinking people.
That's a game changer.
For sure.
And video-wise.
Okay, so it shoots 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second.
Right, in 1080p.
Yeah, 1080p at 30, 60. Even 120 and 240 for slow-mo.
Cool.
It's got gyro EIS and OIS.
So that's electronic and optical stabilization.
Working together.
Super smooth footage.
Should be, yeah.
All right, that all sounds great for the back cameras. The selfie time.
Front-facing camera, yeah.
What we got there?
So that's a 13 megapixel ultra-wide lens.
Ultra wide on the front too.
Yep, so you can fit everyone in the selfie.
Or capture more of the background.
Exactly. It's got f2.2 aperture and a 20 millimeter equivalent focal length.
Oh.
Also 1/3 inch sensor and 1.1 micron pixel size. You can do HDR and panorama for selfies too.
Oh, nice. And for video.
4K at 30 fps and 1080p at 30 fps.
Solid front camera then.
For sure.
Now Google's really highlighting some camera features.
Yeah, they're pushing those.
Can you break down what makes them special?
All right, let's do it. So first up, macro focus.
I love a good macro shot.
Yeah, get up close and personal. Capture those tiny details. Then there's Add Me.
Add Me, that ties into best take.
It does, yeah. So
Okay.
no one's left out of the group photo.
Photographer gets in the shot
Exactly. Take a separate shot, and it merges it in.
seamlessly.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I like that. Okay, what else?
We've got Magic Editor.
Magic Editor. Now that sounds powerful.
This is where the AI really shines.
Okay.
So within Google Photos,
Mhm.
you can reposition objects, change backgrounds, sort of.
Magic, yeah.
I got to try that. All right, then there's Best Take,
We talked about that one, yeah.
a photo lifesaver.
Exactly. Then Real Tone.
This is important.
Very important. It's all about representing skin tones.
Accurately.
Authentically, yeah.
More realistic photos.
That's the goal.
I like that. All right, then we've got HDR Plus.
Classic pixel feature.
Improves clarity and vibrancy.
Especially in tough lighting. And lastly, Night Sight.
This is the one everyone raves about. It's amazing, yeah. Bright, detailed photos in low light. Even works for astrophotography.
You can shoot the stars.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
So the camera really is a highlight here.
Definitely a strong point.
Okay, but all those features, they're going to need juice.
Got to keep it powered up.
So battery-wise,
Yeah.
what are we looking at?
So the 5100 milliamp battery,
5100, that's
pretty good.
for a
Yeah.
phone this size.
Should easily get you through a day.
Unless you're like power user, yeah.
But for most people, no problem.
And charging.
All right, so 23W wired charging uses the PD 3.0 standard,
Okay, and wireless charging.
7.5W wireless charging.
Not bad.
And here's a cool thing. They've got a bypass charging option.
Bypass charging? What's that?
So you can power the phone directly from the charger.
Yeah.
Without fully charging the battery.
And that helps with,
Yeah. It can extend the battery's lifespan.
so it's all about preserving the battery health.
Exactly. Thinking long term.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, what does Google say about battery life?
So they claim with adaptive battery,
Which learns your usage.
right, optimizes things, you can get over 30 hours on a single charge.
That's impressive.
And if you really need to stretch it, extreme battery saver mode. Up to 100 hours.
100 hours.
But of course, real world usage
Yeah, your mileage may vary.
always depends on how you use it.
Right. Okay, battery's looking solid.
Yeah.
But how does this thing connect to the world?
Connectivity, right?
And what other features are we getting?
All right, so network-wise, you've got GSM, HSPA, LTE, 5G.
The whole shebang.
It works, yeah. Specific bands depend on the model.
Ah, right, different regions.
So GXQ96 for the US, GTF7P internationally, G3Y12 for Japan,
Okay.
for SIM cards,
Yeah.
NanoSIM and eSIM.
Both.
Yeah, dual SIM, dual standby.
So two phone numbers active at once.
Exactly, and get this, the Google Store hints at dual eSIM.
Whoa. Two eSIMs?
Potentially, yeah, with two 5G connections simultaneously.
Now that's forward thinking.
If your carrier supports it, that is.
Yeah, that's key.
But still impressive.
All right, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Wi-Fi 6E, ABNAC, the whole deal.
So all the latest standards.
Yep. Bluetooth 5.3 with A2DP and LE.
High quality audio streaming, power efficiency,
Got it all covered.
and for navigation.
So GPS, GLONASS, Galileo,
All the usual suspects.
EDS, QZSS, even Navix.
Navic, that's the Indian system, right?
You got it. So no matter where you are in the world,
You're good to go.
pretty much, yeah. It's also got NFC,
Contactless payments.
quick pairing, you know the deal,
Yeah.
USB Type-C 3.2 port,
For charging and data.
super fast.
Since Sims are
The full suite. Fingerprint, under display, accelerometer, gyro, proximity compass, barometer.
anything else.
Oh yeah, circle to search.
I love that feature.
So convenient. Just circle something on screen.
And boom, you can search it.
Exactly.
Okay, all the essentials covered there. Now, audio-wise,
Yeah,
stereo speakers.
it does. Yep.
More immersive sound,
For music, videos, games.
but headphone jack.
Sadly no. So USB-C adapter or Bluetooth headphones.
Good to know.